Welcome, Cancer. I'm Karen. This is Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising. It's what I call a personal growth reading. And what that just means is we're going to take a look at blocks, obstacles, fears, strengths, and where everything leads, advice as well. I'm going to use the Somnia Tarot for the reading. These readings can be about a specific situation or it can just be in general. You'll understand when we get started here. So I'm going to use the Somnia Tarot for the reading, actually, and the Somnia Tarot. So this is the illustrated edition, of this deck, and this is the original photograph version of it. So I'm going to use the colorful one for the reading, and if I need clarifying, I'll use the other one. Okay, so let's get started here. What do our Cancers need to know? And please, if you are enjoying this content, hit that like button, share, and subscribe is always helpful. Let's get going. Blocks, please. King of Cups and Two of Wands. Fears or obstacles. King of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. I'm going to move some of these cards. I have so many decks laying out here on my table right now. Okay. And these are kind of big cards. Strengths, please. The Moon and Ace of Cups. And what you don't see is Nine of Cups. You guys got good stuff. Emperor, Unexpected, Seven of Pentacles, Challenge is Eight of Wands. My stomach is growling. I didn't mean to pull a challenge, but that's okay. So where does this all lead? Six of Wands and Empress. I like that too. Advice is Lovers. Temperance is at the bottom of the deck. There's something here about fire and water, right? That's how I see the Temperance most of the time. When I look at the Temperance card, that's what it shows. Fire and water coming together. How does that happen? Because doesn't water put the fire out? Not necessarily. When we can really truly put those two together, it leads to love and passion, which is, what we really want, especially if this is relationship of any kind. So what this is could be, and this isn't going to be for everybody, but the bottom of the deck is telling me that overall you're trying to, or what's on your mind, or something that you're trying to do, either or, where you are bringing in, I want to have passion and love. Now, this could definitely be a romantic situation. It could definitely be a current relationship, and it could definitely be a job. It could be anything, because it's not, passion and love aren't just about relationships. They're about life. When you really enjoy something and you have a lot of passion for it, but you can bring that love and softness in as well, then it just takes on a whole new level, right? So your blocks right now, you have the King of Cups with the Two of Wands. There is a feeling that I feel like this is like, I really, really, really I feel like the block is you being able to go kind of with the flow. Now with the King of Cups, normally his throne is on water, which means that he can kind of float and go with the flow. And sometimes we need to do that. We need to just go with the flow. But I feel like either two things. It could be some of you, you're struggling with going with the flow, or you're going with the flow too much. I feel like in more cases than not, it's you not being able to really go with the flow. And when I say that, the Two of Wands is the other block, which to me is planning on how to move forward. If you're in a position where you're just kind of going with the flow all the time, how can you really make plans to move forward? Because going with the flow means you're letting a situation or someone do that for you. So to get to your own plans, Two of Wands, making your own plans, going, this is the direction I want to go in. Because to me, the Two of Wands, okay, comes right after the Ace of Wands, right? Which is something that's super passionate. Okay, I want to, and passion in any kind of sense. I'm going for this. It's got a lot of energy. Okay, Two of Wands. Now that I got this new beginning in my hands, how do I move forward with it? And you're being blocked, I feel like, too, because of that King energy of, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow. Well, when you go with the flow, again, you're kind of putting someone else in charge. It doesn't mean like you have to have a stronghold and, really do it's more of a, well, what do I want? And how can I move forward if I'm just kind of going with it? So your blocks are the King of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. There's something here to me too about, I mean, this is not your blocks, sorry, obstacles or fears. I feel like the obstacle here is understanding, Ace of Swords, understanding something 100%. Like, not, I feel like there's something here about really needing to communicate. Now, when we have a King of Pentacles energy, Pentacle people in general, earth signs normally can tend to be stubborn, or and this is just from my understanding. I'm not an astrologer. There's more of they're planted in their ideas, and once they've planted the idea, they stick with that idea. They don't flip-flop. They don't go with the flow. This is what I want. This is what I've planted. This is what I've started. This is what I'm going to finish. And there's a feeling to me here that there's a certain sense that now I'm thinking this is you may be stuck on, no, you're afraid to do that, like stick into an idea, this is exactly what I want, and this is what I want to grow, and this is where I want to go with it. Again, we're going back to our blocks a little bit. So the obstacle is getting you to do that, to stick to a plan, create a plan and stick to it. And the Ace of Swords it's not really an obstacle. I don't think it's more the idea of understanding something. I don't think it's a complete obstacle or a complete fear. I feel like it's more, there could be something, I mean, it could be like an obstacle. You learn something and it's making you wonder about all of this situation up here. But it's also clarity. To me, the Ace of Swords is either communication, a bright idea, or clearness. And there may be a struggle here too about communication. And I would just keep an eye on that in general, because communication is important in any situation, whether it be love, work, personal, and it could be even communicating with yourself, right? Are you being honest with yourself? That kind of thing. But I do feel like with the strengths here, we have the Moon and the Ace of Cups. There is something here with the Ace of Cups. For some of you, this is a new idea. For some of you, this is a new love, a new relationship, or but some of you, it could be just a new creative idea on how to, even work, whatever this new thing is, it comes from you. Like I feel like this is your strength, is that you can move into something that's really means a lot to you. The other thing here too with the Moon, I feel like you're kind of coming out of clouds right now. And it's really important, because if you've been unsure, like you look at a situation and you go, is that really what's happening? The Moon reminds us, and in this deck, he is climbing out of the water, which tells me, I look at this card specifically in the sense that I'm seeing the light here. I'm understanding. And I feel like this is your progression more than just a strength. It's where you're headed. you're headed to a more clear view. Especially with the Ace of Swords up here in your obstacles and strengths, this is important to you to be able to see clearly. And sometimes when we're just being that King of Cups and kind of going with the flow, we're not actually clear on how to move forward because we're just kind of going with the flow. So this is all coming together, I feel like, because once you recognize and once you start coming out of kind of a cloudy space in your, even if it's just in your head, you'll be able to take that Ace of Cups energy and really start something special, whatever that is to you. We have the Nine of Cups and the Emperor in what you don't see. To me, this is you taking control of your dreams and wishes and desires. Now, what the thing is here is the reason why it's in the what you don't see is because it's happening regardless of what you're doing. So, which is kind of nice because to me in the what you don't see, it can be about like the environment, someone else in your life, or if it's work, it could be something that's happening in work that you have no control of, or if it's love, it could be someone, that person, what they're going through, how they feel. But I feel like it's more you. And I think there's something happening here, and everyone's different, so I'm not going to like pull extra cards here. I feel like there's something happening where you will become very aware of how to reach and control your true desires. Again, that's breaking that block. The wishy-washy, and I don't want to say wishy-washy, but kind of going with the flow. Kind of, I don't know, kind of wishy-washy. But this takes that back, and it's happening already. Now, you're not going to see it for a bit. I think because of the Seven of Pentacles is in the unexpected, and this energy is you actually coming to the realization that the work you truly are doing is working. You will reap the benefits of a long time. I feel like this could be work that's been kind of more than months, a long time that you've been kind of trying to put the pieces together on a situation. And I feel like the Seven of Pentacles will allow you to see the fruits of your labor. And that's going to be the unexpected piece that, the work I'm doing is really working. The Eight of Wands is in your challenge, and I normally don't pull a challenge here, but I did. In this deck, I see that chandelier kind of going back and forth. So normally the Eight of Wands is about something coming in. It could be a message, it could be travel, but whatever it is, it's speedy and happening. In this case, it's that chandelier going back and forth because the chandelier is not going anywhere. It's just kind of going back and forth. So there is almost, to me, which is odd because I normally don't get that with the other Eight of Wands. There's more of a feeling of getting out of that back and forth. That's the challenge because it's almost like an indecisive energy. You're watching something move back and forth, but it's not moving forward. It's not moving back. It's kind of just hanging in there. So I feel like that's going to be the challenge, is to overcome that kind of energy within. And it's almost like within yourself because you have to take control of that. Again, it's happening with the Nine of Cups and the Emperor and what you don't see. But this is really going to be prevalent moving forward, that you're going to have to go, okay, this is the direction I want to go in. And then take that Eight of Wands and move in that direction. Where does this lead? It leads to Six of Wands, which I really, really like because basically I feel like this is you. There's going to be a couple different things here for some of you. If this is love, it's going to be kind of a proclamation of not necessarily love, but if you're in a relationship that's especially beginning or you're not quite understanding it, there will be some recognition coming into you that kind of puts you in a position where you're like, Oh, if it's work, it could be the same type of energy. You will be seen and recognized in one way or another here with this situation. If you're feeling like, I don't know which way to go, and kind of feeling like that, you're going to be, well, I'm not sure how to put it. You're going to be recognized. And whether, and that comes from too the work you're putting in. And I think that's a lot with that Seven of Pentacles as well, because once you can see what you've done, that allows other people. Also here, I'm kind of getting the feeling that people are going to see what you're doing before you do. It could be because I feel like that's, kind of that energy. And then it leads to the Empress, which to me is kind of being fulfilled here. I mean, the Empress is normally about nurturing and taking care of things and kind of that motherly type energy. But I feel like it's also kind of being, the Emperor is the feminine to the Emperor, right? So there is a soft control here of you saying, I understand exactly what I need to do to take care of a situation, how to move forward. And it's kind of just very subtle. It's not like the Emperor where they stick their ground. It's softer than that. And but yet it's still control, but it's softer. And I feel like that's where you're headed into a very much, I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly how to take care of the situation. I know exactly how to move forward. And I mean, overall, that feels really, really good. Until, but I think the biggest thing, and the biggest thing is getting out of that, I'm just going to kind of wait this out. And maybe, the waiting out is okay to a certain degree. But at some point, if you really want to make plans, then you're going to have to come out of that. The Lovers is in your advice. I feel like that the best person for you isn't necessarily the best thing for you, not necessarily a person. The best thing for you is not necessarily someone exactly like you or something that fits your needs perfectly. I say that because I look at the Lovers and on one tree's on fire, the other tree is growing. This tree over here is the one on fire. And sometimes the best thing for us is the thing that isn't exactly like us. So for work, normally I'm I don't know, I'm an accountant. I'm just using something. But this job would mean I'd have to learn more about the software. Well, that's not my forte. That's not what I'm good at. Well, maybe you could be, right? Same with a person. Oh, this person's got a lot of fire in them. But I'm water, Cancer. Is that going to be good for me? That kind of feeling here. And I feel like that's really the advice, is to understand that the best thing for you is not necessarily what's exactly like you. And sometimes we need to stretch, we need to be pushed. And when we're around something that fits us perfectly, we're not pushed. We may be able to, staying focused on one area, you could become an expert, but we're not being pushed out of our comfort zone. And sometimes being pushed out of our comfort zone gives us whole new opportunities in love, in work, in relationships in general. So there you have it, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Take care. Have a beautiful day.